My husband introduced me to his long-lost sister at our anniversary dinner. She was actually his mistress of 5 years, and they'd been planning to kill me for my life insurance. Let me take you back to how this all started. 2 months ago, Marcus came home practically glowing with excitement. We'd been married for 8 years, and I hadn't seen him this animated about anything in forever. He was holding his phone like it contained the secrets of the universe. "Babe, you're not going to believe this," he said, practically bouncing. "I got a message on Facebook from a woman named Sarah. She thinks she might be my sister." I looked up from folding laundry. "What do you mean, sister?" "My dad had an affair when I was little, remember? Before my parents divorced? Sarah says her mom told her about a man named Robert Chen who might be her father. That's my dad's name." My heart melted. Marcus had always felt like something was missing from his family. His parents' messy divorce left him with so many unanswered questions. The idea that he might have a sister out there, it felt like a miracle. "Are you going to meet her?" I asked. "She wants to do a DNA test first. Make sure we're really related before we get our hopes up." 3 weeks later, the results came back positive. Marcus was crying when he showed me the email. 99% probability of being half-siblings. "I have a sister," he whispered. "I actually have a sister." Sarah lived 2 hours away in Portland. She was 31, just 2 years younger than Marcus. A kindergarten teacher with the sweetest smile and this infectious laugh. When we video called her for the first time, I could see the resemblance immediately. Same dark eyes, same stubborn chin. But something felt off. Marcus started talking to Sarah every single day. Long phone calls that he'd take in the garage or on walks around the block. When I asked what they talked about, he'd get this dreamy look. "Just catching up on 30 years of missed life, you know? She's telling me about her childhood, her mom, what it was like growing up without knowing she had a brother." The calls got longer. 2 hours. 3 hours. Sometimes I'd wake up at midnight and hear him whispering in the kitchen. "She has insomnia," he explained. "Anxiety issues. I'm the only family she has now that her mom passed." Then came the gifts. Marcus had never been much of a gift giver, even for me. But suddenly he's ordering flowers for Sarah's birthday, sending care packages when she mentioned being stressed at work, buying her expensive necklace for Christmas. "She's my sister," he'd say when I raised an eyebrow. I have 30 years of birthdays to make up for. The weird part was how secretive he became about her. In the beginning, he wanted to share everything. Now when Sarah called, he'd step outside. When I asked to plan a visit, he made excuses. "She's not ready yet. It's overwhelming for her, having family again. We need to take it slow." But then I'd catch him smiling at his phone in ways that made my stomach clench. The same smile he used to give me when we were dating. Was I losing my mind? This was his sister. His sister. Everything changed the night I couldn't sleep and went downstairs for water. Marcus was on the couch, phone pressed to his ear, and I heard him say, "I love you too, baby. I can't wait to hold you again." I froze in the hallway. "Soon," he continued. "Just a little longer and we can stop pretending. Jessica's starting to get suspicious, but the plan is working perfectly." My blood turned to ice. Jessica. That's me. They were talking about me. I crept back upstairs, my hands shaking so hard I could barely grip the banister. My husband was having an affair with the woman he claimed was his sister. But wait. The DNA test. It came back positive. How do you fake a DNA test? The next morning, I did something I'd never done before. I went through Marcus's phone while he was in the shower. What I found made me physically sick. Messages going back 5 years. 5 years. Can't wait for tonight, lover. Your wife almost caught us at the hotel. The sister story is genius. Now we can be together all the time and she won't suspect anything. And then I found the life insurance discussions. Once Jessica's gone, we'll have the 500K plus the house. We can finally be together for real. The accident needs to look natural. Car brakes maybe? I love you, Sarah. Soon it'll just be us. I ran to the bathroom and threw up until there was nothing left. This woman wasn't his sister. She was his mistress. They'd been planning this elaborate con for months, setting up a fake identity, somehow rigging a DNA test, all so they could be together openly while planning my murder. And our anniversary dinner was tomorrow. The night Marcus had insisted we finally meet Sarah in person. Oh God. Were they planning to kill me tomorrow? I had less than 24 hours to figure out how to save my life. First, I called the DNA testing company. It took 3 hours of being transferred and demanding to speak to managers, but finally I got someone to pull up Marcus's account. Ma'am, I can see there was indeed a test processed, but the samples submitted were, this is irregular. Both samples appear to be from the same person. My heart stopped. What does that mean? Someone submitted 2 samples of their own DNA and claimed they were from different people. It would show up as siblings because it's literally the same genetic material. Sarah had submitted her DNA twice. Once as herself, once pretending to be Marcus. The brilliance of it was sick. Marcus never actually took a test. Sarah handled everything, mailed everything, received everything. He just saw the results she wanted him to see. But I still had the bigger problem. They were planning to kill me. I spent the afternoon setting up my own trap. First, I called my brother and told him everything. Sent him copies of all the messages I'd photographed. If something happens to me tomorrow night, you know exactly who did it. Then I called the police. Filed a report. They couldn't arrest anyone yet, but now there was an official record of the threats. Finally, I set up my phone to record everything at dinner. The next evening, I played the perfect clueless wife. Got dressed up, smiled bright, told Marcus how excited I was to finally meet his sister. Sarah was exactly what I expected. Pretty in a generic way, overly touchy with my husband, and constantly making little comments designed to exclude me from conversations. Remember when we talked about Mom's apple pie recipe, she'd say to Marcus, when she'd never had a mother who knew Marcus existed. But the real show started when I excused myself to the bathroom and left my phone recording on the table. When I came back, I could see they'd moved closer together. Marcus's hand was on her thigh. So Sarah, I said sweetly, sitting down. Tell me about the DNA test. I'm so curious about the process. Her face flickered for just a second. Oh, you know, pretty standard. Spit in a tube, mail it off. And Marcus, you did yours the same day? Yeah. Yeah, same day. That's funny, I continued, my voice still light and friendly. Because I called the company today. They said only one person submitted samples. 2 samples, but from the same person. The silence at the table was deafening. Sarah's face went white. Marcus started stammering. I don't know what they meant by that. I also found your messages, I said, pulling out my phone. All of them. The affair. The fake sister story. The life insurance discussions. The part where you two planned to murder me. Sarah shot up from her chair. Marcus, we need to go. Now. Oh, you're not going anywhere, I said calmly. Because I already called the police. They're actually right outside. As if on cue, 2 officers walked through the restaurant door. The look of pure terror on both their faces was the most satisfying thing I'd ever seen. Marcus tried to run. Actually tried to run through a crowded restaurant while police officers were walking toward him. He made it about 10 feet before they tackled him next to the salad bar. Sarah tried a different approach. Immediately started crying, claiming she was the victim, that Marcus had manipulated her, that she never